Okay, I would like to talk about how to use Maxima to check your answers, especially when you're solving differential equation using Laplace transform. All right, so I would like to talk about section 4.2, number 5. And if you did it correctly, you should have capital X sub s, what should come out to be 2 over um, s squared plus 1 times and s squared plus 4, right? And that should be, so shift enter. All right, so this should be the capital X of s, and 2 over s squared plus 1 times s squared plus 4. All right, so there's a way to, of course you can do it by hand, but there's a way to find the partial fractions on maxima. All right, so if you go to calculus, then there's a partial fractions here, so you click on that. Then you just put capital X of s. And the variable is of course s, so I have to change that to s. Then click OK. Alright, so you can see that the partial fractions are those, and now I can see that this is going to be 2/3. If you take the inverse Laplace transform, and 2/3 sine of t minus, alright, this is a k, so k value is here, so it's going to be 1/3, so minus 1/3 sine of 2t. Right, so let's see if I can find it using maxima. So calculus here, then inverse Laplace transform is right here. Right, so we are taking the inverse Laplace transform of x of s. Right, and the old variable is s. Then we want to go back to t. So click that. Right, so you can see that there's a 2/3 sine of t minus 1/3 of sine of 2t. Right, so that should be the solution to the initial value problem. All right, I hope this was helpful. Okay, I would like to go over a portion of homework number 9, problem number 15. All right, let's say that we already found the volume function v of x, which is right here. All right, then which is x times quantity 10 minus 2x times quantity 17 minus 2x. Right, if you multiply all out, you're going to get this function 4x cubed minus 54x squared plus 170x. All right, so in order to find the critical value of this function v of x, first we take the derivative using the power rule. So put the 3 in front, so 4 times 3 is 12. Right, then subtract 1 from the power 3, so it's 2. Right, and so put 2 in front, so 2 times negative 54 would be negative 108 x, because subtract 1 from 2. Right, derivative of 170x is going to be just 170, so you get that. All right, so remember that if you have an equation, quadratic equation, say ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0, then quadratic formula is, if you remember, x is equal to negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4a times c all over 2a. So this is the quadratic formula. All right, so let's identify a, b, and c in this case here. So this 12 is going to be a coefficient of x squared, so this is our a. And here, this is negative 108 is coefficient of x, so this is our b. right? Then you have a constant term, it's 170, so that's our C. All right, so using the quadratic formula, we can get x, which is equal to, right, negative b would be positive 108 plus or minus square root of b squared, so it's going to be negative 108. Negative doesn't really matter because it gets squared anyway, minus 4 times a is 12, all right, times c is 170, right? So that's a big square root there, and all over 2 times a. A in this case is 12. All right, so we just have to get these values. So let's say, so this is going to be approximately. All right, so I'm gonna just borrow a calculator here. So open up a calculator. All right, so I'm gonna just shift it so that I can see the expression. All right, so we need to compute 108. So let's do the minus one first. Minus, all right, parentheses. All right, then we're gonna have to have 108 squared, right? Then minus 4 times and 12 times 170, right? Then parentheses. Then I have to take the square root of the whole thing in the parentheses. So I'm gonna take the square root of that. Then that's going to be my whole numerator. So I'm going to go ahead and find that value. Then I have to divide it by, I can do this in my head, that 2 times 12 is 24. So we just have to divide by 24. All right. So here's what I get. So it's let's see, it's a 2.03. So the first one is 2.03. All right, let's find the positive one. So same thing, calculator coming up. All right, and clean that up. All right, so it's going to be 108, and it's a positive one, so plus, right, parenthesis, and we have a 108 squared minus 4 times 12 times 170, right? That, and then take the square root of that, right? So that's the whole numerator, and divided by 24 again, 24. Right, so you can see that we got 6.97, so it's about 6.97, so 6.97. All right, so here is how you can find zeros using quadratic formula. Maybe I should say critical values in this case. All right, I hope this was clear.